So I saw that y'all were going to Africa. I was there for the announcement. It was so hype and everyone was like, whoa, crazy. And so something like clicked in my brain where I was just like, I'm going on that trip. And I couldn't tell you really why. Obviously it must be a God thing because I had to do a whole presentation for my parents about like, this is why I'm going and this is how I'll keep up with school and everything. It was like not an easy trip to be able to go on, but it was very worth it. Something really big that I learned while I was in Africa was about the spirit of evangelism. I was really scared about that going into the trip. In Frisco, if you did door-to-door evangelism, you would just kind of get like a door in your face. And so I was really scared that that was gonna be the outcome, but instead everyone that we talked to immediately was willing to have a conversation about Jesus and share the gospel. And I'm sure that comes with Zambia being a Christian nation and that culture being present in everyone's life, but also seeing people come to Christ in our evangelism circles just made me realize how important it is. There was one night when I was journaling and I was like, oh, what a wonderful time to be able to just be one group united to sharing the gospel and sharing God's glory and that being the only goal. And then I was like, wait, that's everywhere. We just happen to be in a place where we're removed from the Frisco distractions of everything. And so it really got me thinking about when we come back to Frisco, if we were united like that, what kind of life change would we see? Everywhere we went in Zambia, God was working and God was moving. We saw so many kids come to Christ or recommit their lives to Christ. It was something that I have never seen before. And so it just got me thinking of the power of having a united community. There was one high school in particular that we visited that I had to share my testimony, which I was really scared about, obviously, and I was in my own head about it the whole time while I was sharing. But then later we saw so many kids stand up for Christ and so many kids willing to accept the gospel, and realizing that my little nervousness was not anything compared to what God was able to do with. And I wasn't the only person that was sharing. I mean, Chris did a sermon and Visher shared his testimony, and so, but God using all of that together and working all of that together to for his glory was really cool. And then also later in the trip, I kind of got a little bit sick, and so I wasn't able to participate as much as I would like to in the last 2 days, which was a really big bummer because I was we're all the way here in Africa and I'm not feeling well and I don't normally get sick, so I was really confused about it. And so that was definitely a challenge, but I think it was God continuing to remind me of how reliant I am on him. Some big takeaways of God really gave me a heart for evangelism over the trip, something that always seemed really scary and a big cloud of, don't touch that, because that's scary. I just thought if I just live a good Christian life, then people will ask me about the gospel and then I'll get to share it, and that will be it. And don't bring it up because what if they ask you questions that you don't know the answer to? But Megan did a devotional one morning about how just important evangelism is, even in a community that you wouldn't think needs evangelism. Everywhere we went was, not everywhere, but a lot of places that we went were Christian areas, and yet they still needed guidance and continued discipleship. And so even in Frisco, where you think that, no one has the problems that people do in Zambia, which is true. A lot of people have well-off houses, nicer standards of living, but they still need the gospel just as much as those people that are living in huts do. And so that was a really big learning point for me. You should go on a mission trip because there's so many things that God can teach you on mission trips, and there's friendships that you can build that because it's such a different environment from Frisco, and it's very different even from camp. Because even at camp, you're still surrounded by all of your friends that you're really familiar with and your small group. But on a mission trip, you're often not with people that you hang out with all the time, and you're not around just familiar things, so you have less to grab onto, and so you really just have to grab onto God and really trust Him throughout the whole process, which is a really important experience for people. So, yeah.